and 2 joysticks. Neo Geo. Cool red cap and a name that sticks. Neo Geo. 4 right buttons and 2 joysticks. Neo Geo. Cool red cap and a name that sticks. No one quite can do these.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Game Store Guy podcast. This is episode number 15. I'm your host, Kevin. And today I have a pretty special treat, at least it was for me. I got to interview Nathan Barnatt. And the song you were hearing at the beginning, the Neo Geo song, that's like one of his more famous gamer songs. He does a lot of gamer-related YouTube videos, and he does do a lot of commercials, and he does a lot of physical comedy. He's just a generally nice guy. He lives out in L.A. He's hoping to make it big as an actor someday. Just put together a short film called Nuetral. Please go watch it. And if you can, throw him a few bucks because he puts every dollar that he gets into making these videos. And like I said, just a generally great guy. I can't thank him enough for coming on and doing my little podcast. Most gamers would probably know him as Kieth Apicary. I was sent some questions to ask you, Keith, from a lot of the people that listen. I'm sorry, I called you Keith instead of Nathan. Cool. I'm sure that's probably happened to you.
That happens all the time.
A bunch of times. So, I guess the first one I wanted to ask you, what are you playing at the moment? What kind of games?
What am I playing? I haven't played a game in a while. Maybe like a month. What the heck was I playing last? This is horrible. I'm so spaced. I've been filming a lot lately and I haven't been playing any games. My brother right now is in the other room playing Far Cry 5 for the second time. I played Far Cry 5 when that came out. Didn't play it very long. Oh, you know what I am playing? I'm playing my Switch a ton. And I'm playing a game called Guts and Glory, and it's super fun. That and Cluster Truck, and I played the new Shaq Fu. That was like the last time I played games was like a month ago. I got those 3 games, and I was just kind of messing with them like every night. I got the new Shadow of the Colossus right next to me with a remake of Shadow of the Colossus. I still never played that. I haven't had time, unfortunately.
Are you going to pick up Spider-Man?
I am. That was like my plan for next week. Next week things die down. The last thing I have to do for like work related stuff. Mm-hmm. I've shot a lot of my own videos the past couple of weeks, and I shot a movie with my brother that my brother's doing, and then tomorrow I'm in a GameStop commercial of all companies. And then after that I'm gonna like take a break, and I was going to get Spider-Man and just play that like all next week if nothing comes up. That was my plan, but I haven't even downloaded it yet. Oh,
GameStop, my arch rival.
Oh yeah. I don't really. I mean, I haven't. I was gonna say I used to support GameStop. I used to like going into the actual store. Like, oh, these are going away, and whenever things start dying off, I like feel like I should support them. But I haven't been to a GameStop in forever.
I worked for them for like 15 years.
Oh yeah, I worked for them too, actually, for a little bit.
What did you do? What were you?
It was only for a week. It was right before Christmas, and it was like in 2004. And I needed like some extra cash before Christmas, so I worked there for a week.
So you were seasonal?
Yeah, I was just a seasonal guy, and then they asked me to stay on, and I just didn't feel like doing it. So
it is you made the right choice. It is a crappy job.
Yeah. It was always a pain getting to use like the your card, your GameStop card. Like the last times I went in there, the past like 2 years, they're like, oh, well, we need your, like they could never apply the discount or like the credits I had. I remember having a really hard time doing that. That was like one of my last experiences with GameStop was not being able to get my credit off of my card.
Well, I think they're on borrowed time at the moment. I don't know.
Yeah, discs are disappearing, so they're probably gone right after that.
Yeah, I know you like Trials. Did you get into the Trials beta?
I love Trials. There's a new one coming out.
Right. There's a beta going on right now.
Yeah. I was at E3 and that was the one thing I was the most excited about was Trials. And I had no idea until I'm very surprised. I feel like an idiot actually, and kind of embarrassed because I'm obsessed with Trials. I played the Blood Dragon Trials. That was awesome. And then at E3, I learned there's another one coming. And so I'm extremely excited about that. You know when it comes out?
I think it's like early next year, but they're doing a beta right now, so you can go to their website and sign up and play it now.
Oh, really? Like, on like a website, you get to play it on a PC or something?
No, you pick like whether you want PS4 or PC or.
Oh, and they send you like a code or something?
Yep.
Dude, I'm doing that right now as we're talking. What's the name of this trials?
Oh God, you put me
Or
on the spot
something?
at the moment. Let me look it up here real fast. I'm typing it right now. Trials. I should know it. Trials homepage.
Trials Rising.
That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
So get in there because I know I'm friends with you on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I went through and beat a lot of your scores.
So did we ever play against each other?
No, I just went through and I saw your scores and I'm like, I got to beat Nathan's scores. So
Oh, dang it!
I knocked a few of them off.
What's your name on there?
ccgamesceo.
Oh, CC Games. Okay, easy to find you. I'm gonna go take you down this weekend.
You're already friends with me, so you'll see my my Ghost Rider.
So I heard this time that you're gonna be to actually do live races with people.
Yeah, it looks cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm nice. Huge into trials too, so I saw you stream.
Oh, it's gonna be on the Switch.
Yeah.
Shut up, dude. That makes my life so much better. I want everything to be on the Switch. I'm obsessed with the Switch.
I kind of agree with you too. And when I'm on the main podcast for the show, we kind of get shit. Me and the other guy John for being kind of Switch homers.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the Switch. I love that it's portable.
It's awesome. I haven't been as excited about a video game system since Game Boy and Game Gear came out. It's just so freeing. I play my Switch more than I play any other system because I'm off and doing things all the time. So I take it with me every time I'm on a plane or on a road trip. If I shoot tomorrow, I'm gonna bring my Switch with me to this commercial because there's gonna be a lot of downtime.
Yeah,
I'll just be playing Guts or Glory the whole time. Oh man, this is amazing. Nice.
Yeah, I think for the beta though, you have to pick one of the major systems. I don't think.
Yeah, probably. I can't get I'm trying to click on it. It's not working. Sorry, I don't mean to eat up the whole podcast by trying to get this deal.
It's fine. Take your time. Yeah, it's good. Get into the beta. I downloaded. I'm going to play it later tonight.
Awesome.
I wanted to ask you. Well, before we talk about your movie, for those of you guys that don't know, Kieth had a pretty epic arcade. In a lot of his videos, he had some awesome arcades. I'm big into arcades too. I restore them myself. And actually, the guy John Jacobson, he has a YouTube channel called John's Arcade. He's the one that owns the podcast that I'm part of the network.
Oh, cool.
And he's big into it too. But man, I thought your arcade was pretty awesome and epic.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Knocked out my mind. There we go. I'm back. Knocked out my headset. But for those of you guys who don't know, you sold almost all of it, didn't you, to make your
sold everything. Yeah, I had 20 something games. I do have two, technically. I still have two cabinets. One of them I will be selling still because I'm going to start raising money for the next chapter of the movie. But yeah, I sold everything I had because I needed $20,000 more to finish the movie, to finish two more scenes and then pay for color correction and just stuff that was not paid for yet. So we raised $30,000 and I earned $20,000 more with all my games. So it was $50,000 total.
Awesome. Do you think you got fair value for it or for all of that or?
I think so. I got some of them I sold for less than they're worth, but then some I actually got more than they're worth from people who were just excited to get them. I gotta ask you about one specific one in there. Because
one of the guys that listens to me, his name is Ty Laurie, and he made.
I know Ty. Yeah. Well, I sold that one before I was raising the money for the movie. Yeah, because I didn't have room. I was trying to get rid of some stuff and make room for other things. I sold that the Virtual Boy cabinet to Aaron Hansen, aka Ego Raptor from Game Grumps. Oh, and I still get to visit it because I go to their office sometimes. So it's nice to see it. But I know he's working on a new one. He's working on an updated version. I've been messaging with him. I'm like, as soon as they're ready, let me know because I would love to buy another one of those from him.
Yeah, he's making them a little better now.
So. Yeah, because it kind of fell apart on me a little bit because I also used it in a much different way than most people would. I took it out of the house 100 times. I had it sticking out of a sunroof of a car. I had it in a bed. I had a bunk bed 6 feet off the ground. I was always just shooting videos with the thing because, Kieth, the character, was obsessed with it. So, I kind of got my money's worth, I think, in a way. But I also kind of kind of busted it up a little bit by dragging it around.
Yeah. You called it the virtual man, I remember.
Yeah. Because it's like the bigger version of the Virtual Boy.
Yeah. So, I got to tell you this too. My daughter, she loves your Kimberly Cole video.
Oh, nice.
She's going to hate me that I told you this. She's like,
Well, tell her thank you very much. Tell her thanks for watching.
yeah, she watches all the time and she showed her friends and stuff. And she just thinks it's the funniest thing ever. So,
Well, that's great. Tell her thank you.
Yeah, I want to get that in. So I also wanted to ask you, what's like the craziest thing that happened to you making one of your videos?
Oh, jeez. Well, Kieth shattered my heel. I say Kieth because I was in character at the time at the Screw Attack convention. I don't remember what year that was, like 2014 maybe or something. That was kind of crazy, but sort of expected. TSA was all over me.
Oh, is that the one where you went down the chute?
Yeah, well, so there was one in Texas where I went down the baggage claim way back at like 2010, like Screw Attack's first convention. On the way there, I was getting my baggage. I just started climbing all over it. And then later I wanted to like kind of up it, but I wanted to like roll out of the ceiling, like the baggage claim that goes all the way up into the ceiling. So, it was when I was coming back from PAX the one year, I think it was 2011 or something. In LAX, the LA airport, I went up in the ceiling and I rolled my camera. I just put it on a tripod and hit record, climbed up into the ceiling, then rolled out just to get that shot of me rolling out of the ceiling down the baggage claim. And TSA came, the police came, they like zip tied me down. I put my hands behind my back, and yeah, it was pretty intense. And I just stayed in character the whole time, and I kept talking like Kieth, and Kieth loves talking, especially talking about video games. So they were searching my bag and pulling all kinds of stuff out of my backpack, and I had just come from PAX. I was filming videos, so I had a Justifier in there. I had the Virtual Boy with the Velcro, so I could strap it to my face. I had like all kinds of video game stuff and like no clothes. It was just all electronics. And they were like, they thought that was suspicious that the only baggage I had was like weird electronics, and they didn't know what they were. They probably looked like a bomb to them. They didn't know what a Justifier was. And it's like a gun, you know. He's like, "What's this?" I was like, "That's actually a pretty advanced light gun. Blows away the Nintendo Zapper. That's for the 16-bit generation. That's a sick Justifier." What's going on and on. And then they just said, "Okay, stop talking and go away." And they let me go because I just wouldn't shut up. And staying in character helped me, and it got me out of being arrested. So it was that was pretty crazy. But there's probably some other things like I'm not thinking of that are. I can't remember. I knocked my teeth out in videos. I've done all kinds of dumb things. This is on accident. I mean, I didn't do it on purpose. Like sometimes when I fall down, I just hit too hard or something.
All right. Let's talk about what your movie this is your baby, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the best thing I've ever created. I in my opinion,
I liked it. I think it's really good. And everybody go to Nathan Barnatt, his YouTube channel, and watch Nuetral.
Yeah, it's the main video up there.
The main video.
Keep it up there for a while.
He sacrificed all his arcade games to make.
I sure did. That might make people resentful. They might be like, "Well, I'm not watching it since those poor games had to suffer for it."
No, but, I'm sure they went to good homes.
Oh yeah, they went to people who will love them just as much as me, and a lot of them went to my friends. One place, Neon Retro Arcade, which is an arcade in Pasadena out here in LA, that they bought a bunch from me. And then the completionist, Gerard, the completionist, bought a bunch. And then Aaron bought a bunch more for me. He bought my Dreamcast cabinet. I had a lot of like custom arcade cabinets. Gerard brought my Streets of Rage cabinet. I'm trying to think of the other cool ones I had.
I always wanted to make one of those, a Streets of Rage cabinet.
Oh man, it's such a good idea because it's just such cool art you can put on there. And I did like the Genesis box grid work for the marquee. The buttons lit up. There were red buttons that lit up, and it was just a Genesis inside, and I could play any game I wanted, but I would keep Streets of Rage in there a lot of the time. Streets of Rage 2, the preferred one in the series, in my opinion.
Have you ever played that on 3DS, the Streets of Rage 2?
No, the Streets of Rage 2 on 3. Oh, 3DS. I was like,
yeah, it's because it's 3D and it looks like a pop-up book.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's pretty badass.
Nice. So. You know what? I think the best Streets of Rage is the Streets of Rage remake. Have you played that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know if maybe it was you that told me about it.
I think I typed it in one of your chats
during like Twitch or something. Man, that is so much fun. I wish Streets of Rage 4 was going to look like that. I'm pretty disappointed about the Flash animation in Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a chance, but
I'm definitely going to try it and play it. But nothing beats the 16-bit graphics, in my opinion. I just wish it was like the Sonic Mania is great because it's just straight up Sonic, and it's a little bit more affected, where it's like a little bit more high quality. You know, there's like some 3D something to it, but for the most part, it looks like 16-bit, and it plays like the games we like. And I think that's what they should have done with Streets of Rage. But whatever, we'll see. Shaq Fu, the new one, was pretty fun, so maybe there's hope for.
Yeah, you know, another game you might like if you're into those old ones. Have you played The Messenger yet? It's on Switch.
No.
It's like Ninja Gaiden. It's
cool.
Like if they made a new Ninja Gaiden in 16-bit style.
Nice.
You might like that if you like.
Check it out.
You like those games. So Nuetral.
Let's ramble about Nuetral.
Yeah, let's talk about your
It's
movie.
totally different than any of my gaming content.
Right. Yeah, it is not. But it's good. And I mean, you obviously, I can tell that's what your passion is. So
yeah.
Is that like where you want to go? You want to get into movies, or do you want to like?
Yeah, that's honestly what I wish I was doing all along. Was more just like, you know, higher quality content, better stories, better character development, and better, like, you know, use of physical stunts and physical comedy. Yeah. But when it's just you and a camera, it's hard. You can't just go make some nice, amazing short film with me on a tripod. I could, but you're pretty limited. So only having the means that I've had, it's easier just to make, you know, internet content and shoot what I can alone or with the help of my brother. So the goal always has been for me to make movies and TV shows, and I'm still, you know, as I make any video, and what I'm doing in the background and on the side is I'm always pitching TV shows and things and working on scripts and stuff for some different networks, hoping that one of these projects goes to air. And then while I'm doing that, I'll just shoot videos for fun and throw them online because I have like a lot of ideas and I just want to get stuff out. So this was the first time I was like, okay, I'm actually going to like take some time away from making videos and just focus on making something bigger and better. And like, that will be my thing for like a year. And that's kind of like what happened with Nuetral. So getting Nuetral done, I now want to go and I have parts 2 and 3 written for Nuetral. There's more parts. They'd be like 3 20-ish minute shorts, and then I'd put them together to make one complete feature. I have another short called Milford that I want to shoot back in Massachusetts. My parents live in Milford, Massachusetts. That's where I lived before I moved to California. It's about this guy who lives there. It's kind of like more like a slice of life. I don't know if you ever saw The Florida Project, the movie The Florida Project.
I haven't seen that one. I'm sorry.
It's one of my favorite movies. It came out like last year. It was what's his name? Who's in it? Dang it. The more famous guy in it. I'm spacing on his name at the moment. He actually was in the Spider-Man movies. He played like the bad guy or something.
I'm looking it up right now.
Goblin guy.
Florida Project 2017. Oh yeah, I see. Is that William Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe, yeah, him. Yeah. He was nominated for like an Oscar or Emmy, whatever the heck.
Yeah, he's a damn good actor.
Yeah, he's super good. He had a small part in it too, which is kind of surprising that he was nominated because the girl in it, the little girl in that movie, is amazing. I know the director of that movie. His name's Sean Baker. The guy's awesome. I was actually at the Provincetown Film Festival with Nuetral, and he was there accepting an award for like his past movies. They were kind of like honoring him, and we have like mutual friends, so we talked there. And I kind of connected, and I was telling him how much I loved, because like he knows what I do, and I do like this like slapstick physical comedy. And I was like, man, Florida Project really motivated me to like make things that I really want to make, like bigger and better products that have more like replay value and are more like creatively satisfying. But then, I mean, I'll always make the nonsense comedy that I do make. I'll always be filming little videos, even if I'm like 60 and making in big budget movies. I'll still be shooting stuff on my own on the side. But I was talking to him and tell him how much like I was motivated by Florida Project to make something like nicer and that looks like kind of beautiful, you know, on camera. So the thing I want to shoot now, Milford, is sort of inspired by the Florida Project, but it would be a funnier version. It's also kind of inspired by the movie called Good Time, which came out like last year. These movies are nothing like anything I make on the internet, but they're really good movies. Good Time is the character from Good Time is a big influence. And it's that dude from Twilight, and he's like amazing in this movie.
I'm going to have to watch both these. I didn't.
Oh man, they're two of my favorite movies. They're like, Good Time's kind of dark, but it's like, It's really good. It's such a good movie. And Florida Project is amazing because the little girl in it, she was 6 years old at the time. She's unbelievable. She's so funny. She's so good on camera. She's such a good actor. And she's like 6 years old. And then the girl that plays her mother, Sean found her on Instagram. He saw her posting things on Instagram, and they had her come in audition for the part of this mother, and she's perfect for this character. So it's kind of cool to just know, like, these people are like, they never really been in movies before, and they make this amazing movie. So the tone of Florida Project is similar. It's just like a slice of life. It just feels like real life happening on camera. That's what my next thing I want to do. Milford is sort of inspired by, mixed with what's his name's character from Good Time, Robert Pattinson, the Twilight guy. It's funny because I was like, I had no idea it was him until after, because he's so different in this movie. I was like, that's the Twilight guy. I was like, dang, he's like a good actor. And yeah. I've heard he like makes fun of Twilight and stuff, so it's kind of like he's aware of like what Twilight was. He needed to get that cash, so he just did it.
Yeah, he does. It looks. I watched the trailer here quietly, and it looks pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna check that one out too.
So was that a good time you saw the trailer for that?
Yeah. I just played it while you were talking.
So good. Quiet. Don't even read anything about it. Just watch it. It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're from Massachusetts. That's actually where the guy that owns this podcast, John, he's from there. And I see you do videos at Fun Spot, and I know he does big tournaments at Fun Spot a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
nice.
Is that partially where you got hooked on games and stuff, like places like Fun Spot?
Yeah. I never went to Fun Spot actually when I was a kid, because it was like just too far away. But I used to go to Funkoland in Franklin, Massachusetts. That's where I buy all my games. There's another game store, I think it was in Marlborough, Massachusetts, that was called Save the Princess. I remember going there at like the day after Christmas with my Christmas money and buying a ton of Game Boy games. But these were just like used game stores and stuff. For arcades, I don't even remember going to any. There was an arcade in Framingham, Massachusetts I used to go to. I keep spacing on the name. But now I know there's Game Underground, which is a arcade there. My friend Jamie owns that place. But I never really went to arcades when I was younger. I just kind of played Genesis and stuff at home.
You're definitely a Sega guy.
Yeah.
Being the CEO of Sega.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty great. Yeah, that Kieth got that position. He's pretty lucky.
Yeah. So when's Dreamcast 2 coming out?
It's still in the works. I've heard that they're still working on it, and Kieth is pushing it heavily.
I was a huge Sega fanboy growing up, and I always tell people that it's kind of silly to be a fanboy of one, but I mean, I always loved Nintendo, but there was something about Sega I just always loved.
It just like worked, I think, for like that. You have a lot of like teen angst in you, and a unpent up aggression. You just gotta go like either skateboard or like do something more like aggressive in a way. And Sega kind of like fed into that whole. Like with games like Skitchin and Streets of Rage, it was just like you could let out your teen angst digitally.
So I got a few more questions before I let you go. Somebody asked me what kind of car that is that you're driving in Nuetral.
Oh, it's kind of confusing when you say it, but it's a 1972 BMW 2002. So the model number is 2002, but it's from the 70s. It's a 1972. And it's called 2002 because it's 2000 horsepower, I think. Or no, sorry, 2000 cc's. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's like 2000 cc engine, and it's 2 doors. So combined with like they just made it 2002 as like the title of it. This something like that. I'm spacing out on it right now. I
was gonna say I like it. I think it's a pretty cool car.
Oh, thanks. I love it. I'm not like a car guy or anything, but I saw one out here in LA. I was like, what the heck kind of car is that? It was like 5 years ago. And then I took a picture when I was driving behind it, and I searched BMW 2002, and I saw all these cool cars. I was like, this thing is awesome. I'd never heard of this. So I ended up getting one a few years ago. It was a blue one. It was actually, the model was a 1600. That's like what came out like right before the 2002. But it's basically the same car, just like the engine stuff is different or something. And that one wasn't as in great shape engine wise, and they had like no shocks. The guy like cut the shocks, and it was just kind of a dumb car to buy for my first one. But I ended up selling it, and then I always wanted another one, so I found this one, and it's like really good condition, and it's got like an updated transmission, so it's got 5 speeds instead of 4. I can go a little bit faster. It's just a lot nicer than the first one. So I've been hanging on to it, and I just keep putting it in anything and everything I can to get my money's worth out of it. But yeah, the car in the movie in Nuetral is like sort of a main character of the movie.
Yeah.
So
did you how bad did you get hurt when you were getting dragged behind there?
Oh, I was fine. That was actually the easiest thing I did. Getting dragged behind was real easy. Being pushed in front of the car, I was pretty nervous about because I had the chance I could have got run over if my feet caught the ground wrong. I could have it's kind of complicated, but dragging was easy because I did the first drag for real. Where I just like grabbed onto the car and then dragged me on the car until I felt the road ripping through my shoes to my toes, and then I stopped. So I wanted to get one where I for real did it without any protection, so I could show like, oh, he's really doing this. And then there's a second shot where I'm laying on like a little skid plate, which is like a piece of plastic that was tied to the back of the car. And then I covered it up by laying on it. So I got some extra drag out of it, but I ripped up the shirt and the pants on the first day. So then I had to wear I got a second outfit to wear to do it for the skid plate. And that was fine. But yeah, the front of the car was a little more sketchy. And that was my brother that was driving. The car was never pulled artificially. It was always driving itself. My brother would like lay down.
That's cool.
And it was like kind of tricky for him because it's a manual car and he's shifting and using a clutch. And then he's got his head over in the shotgun side floor. And you can't see where he's going. So it's just a nightmare.
That's just pretty awesome that your brother could do that. That's good.
Yeah, like my brother and I we'll do anything it takes to get like a shot or to do something. And I think we're kind of like, he's a mechanic and we've done a lot of stuff. Like we let our cars drive by themselves and we'll put the camera in the car and you just run next to the car to get like a dolly shot. That's something we've done many times for our videos. Uh-huh. So we're the kind of people that just like do anything it takes to get a shot. And if you need to lay down, we'll figure out how to do it to drive the car and not be seen. So yeah, he's also like a mountain rescue guy and like he's not really afraid to. So between me doing all these stunts and like gymnastics and him being like this mountain rescue man, it works out with filmmaking. You can get a lot of cool shots when you're not afraid to do anything.
So I got one more question from a viewer. Somebody told me to ask you about Danny McBride.
Oh man, that's a long time viewer. It sounds like.
Yeah. I saw the video.
So I love Danny McBride personally. I think he's super funny. I love everything he does. Eastbound and Down was one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. Vice Principals, I'm super into.
Me too.
So I was doing some stuff with Funny or Die back then, and Adam McKay. I went to the Eastbound and Down, like there was like a screening / like party for Eastbound and Down. No, for the Foot Fist Way. Danny McBride's movie, The Foot Fist Way. And this was at the Upright Citizens Brigade, a place where I perform out here. And Adam McKay, who runs Gary Sanchez Productions, he's also like Will Ferrell's like best friend and director. They are Will Ferrell and Adam McKay are the ones that put out The Foot Fist Way and like sort of like responsible for discovering Danny McBride in a way. So I was at this party. And Adam McKay was like, "Hey, I love your videos. My sister, my daughter's a big fan. This is when I had a video out, and it was me on a pogo stick, and it was bouncing on this pogo stick, and I throw it, and it hit somebody in the face. And he like loved the videos. Like, hey, I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of your videos. My daughter loves watching your stuff. Your physicality is really great." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." And after that, he would send me a couple messages on Funny or Die saying, "Oh, what about this idea for this character?" And he'd like kind of throw ideas out to me. I was like, "This is unbelievable." So I was super eager and I wanted to like, just be making stuff that they might see and might think is funny. So I made that video hoping Danny McBride and like Adam McKay and them would get a kick out of it. And unfortunately, I think I did too good of a job because people really believe it. And now people who are going to go look it up are going to like know the reality and it won't work the same on them. But I had tons of comedian friends come up to me at the Upright Citizens Brigade after I put it out. They were like, "Dude, what's up? Why do you hate Danny McBride? Like, you shouldn't do that. You might work with him at some point and you're kind of like burning a bridge." But it was all a joke because it was supposed to be, I'm flipping out. I hate this dude because I thought a natural gimmick would be, I'm pretty clean in all my content. And I don't swear and stuff in my own personal life. So my content's just kind of been clean, but just because that's just how I've always been. But I mean, I love stuff like swearing and vulgarity. I think it's hilarious. I just personally don't do it in my stuff. So in that video, I used that as my gimmick where I was like, oh, he's always swearing and he's the bad influence for kids or whatever. And I kind of lose my temper at the end, obviously. And then at the very, very end of the video, I say, go see Land of the Lost in theaters now, because that was the movie he was in currently. And so I thought people would go, oh, okay, this is like a weird backwards ad to go see for Land of the Lost. But nobody got it. They thought I was mocking him and making fun of him. I was like, oh, no. And so I talked to a guy. His name's Kevin Barnatt, no relation to me. He was a writer for the Farrelly Brothers, and he told me, because he had Danny McBride in one of their movies around that time. He's like, dude, I showed him your video, and he thought it was super funny. And I was like, I couldn't tell if he was just telling me this to make me feel better. I was like, if so, I have a feeling that Danny McBride was like, what's up with that dude? F that guy. But I couldn't tell if he was just kind of lying to me and trying to make me feel better now. But I have never talked to Danny McBride. I sent it to this guy named Chris Henchy, who's like a writer-producer for those guys, and then Adam McKay. And they were like super funny, but it was just like quick little answers. And I still want to talk to Danny McBride and be like, did you ever see this? Do you remember me? Do you hate me? Do you think I hate you? Because I'm a big fan.
I'll tell you what, you did a good job. Like, I was convinced that you really hated Danny McBride up until you pulled out an axe. I was like, who keeps an axe in their kitchen?
Right? I mean, it's so over the top. And I went and bought that door. I had that door put on so that I could smash it.
Yeah, I could tell afterwards that the door wasn't really hung,
Yeah,
properly,
okay.
But
and I'm okay with people knowing that. So because I'd rather them be like, okay, he is just making a joke at this point. Because if people believe it, I just look like a complete jackass and I'm like a jerk and I hate Danny McBride and I'm a mental patient. So I like Danny McBride to answer the question. And that video is that was when Blockbuster was still open. I actually took a bunch of my DVDs, put them, and I printed out the covers of his movies, put them in my cases, and then placed them in the store with my friend Chainsaw was her name, the girl, and her name's Allie, but I call her Chainsaw. Right. And we just planned the whole video all the way through. And I really want to talk to him at some point and be like,
that would be awesome.
I don't hate you. I had a meeting at his production company once too. I was pitching some TV ideas and I was talking to them about being the ones to produce it. And I never brought it up because I didn't want them to go, oh, it's you. Because in my head, it's probably narcissistic of me, but I feel like, oh, they know about me and they hate me. Don't remind them.
I think he would get it.
Of all people, and that's what I was thinking when I first made it. I was like, he'll get this. This is like that aggressive, over the top comedy that he does. So maybe he'll like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I titled it Nathan Barnatt Hates Danny McBride. Like, why would I do that when I'm a comedian who works in LA? That's like me saying, like, I hate Will Ferrell, screw him.
Yeah.
I don't expect to get any jobs at that point if I put that video out.
One more thing before I let you go too. Sorry. I think
no problem.
But I know I told you this before in one of your chats. I think they need to get you on Silicon Valley. I think you would be perfect.
Well, thank you.
And I know you're friends with the guy that plays Guilfoyle. Is his name Martin? I think it's Martin.
Yeah, Martin Starr. I know Kumail as well. And then TJ I was friends with, but he's no longer on that show.
For whatever reason, whenever I see you, I think you would be perfect on there.
Thanks. I think I could do a pretty good job as depending on what the role is on that.
Some kind of silly programmer or something like
that. Yeah, I guess it depends on. I mean, I go out for auditions for stuff. I never went out for an audition for that show, but I know the casting office that does cast that show, and they know that I want to go in on it. So every year when they start doing a new season, I have a feeling next year is going to be the last season. So I really want to get in on that. I should actually just like try to pull a favor and have one of my friends push for me. I've had a few friends on that show as well, and every time someone's on, I'm like, oh, that's the one show I want to get. But no one has played a part that I think I would have been good for, so I'm like not like stressing too much. It's not like someone like stole a good role from me or anything, you know.
Right. I don't know why, I just think you would fit perfect. And
thanks. Yeah, that'd be a fun show to be on. It's a super funny show. I love that show.
Yeah.
That and Ballers, me and The Rock would be pretty good side by side.
Ballers, everybody makes fun of that. That's basically Entourage with The Rock.
Yeah, but I know nothing about football and I know nothing about business, but I love that show. And I don't know why.
I'm a huge football fan, and I run my own businesses, so it's
perfect for you.
Perfect for me, and I like The Rock. I think The Rock.
I love The Rock. My friend Carl's on that show. He's on that. He's got a pretty good role. He's one of the ones that's been sticking around. He's that dude. I haven't watched this season yet, but what's the guy's name who's always hanging out with his dad and his friend? The football player.
Oh, is he like the
He's
guy?
the friend.
He's the friend. Oh yeah, that guy's awesome. The black guy.
Yeah, he's a funny. He's always got like funny one-liners and stuff. And
yeah, he's hilarious.
yeah,
He's getting bigger and bigger in every episode.
Yeah, and that's what he said to me. I talked to him recently. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm hoping I get back on season 5, but like they've been really putting me on, putting me in a lot." Yeah, his name's Carl. He's an awesome dude. He was actually in my. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it got removed from YouTube, but it's on Vimeo. I did a video for Skrillex. It was like a dance video, and Carl is in that video at the end as like a security guy. It's like grabbing me and trying to like chase. He's chasing me out of the story. It's part of the story where these security guards come chasing after me, and he's one of the security guards.
I'll look it up, but yeah, he's getting bigger roles every week.
Yeah.
It seems like he's more into the story.
Carl's a cool dude. Yeah, I'm really happy for him.
He seems like a cool. I mean, it's hard to tell from people acting, but
he's sort of like that character. He's just like a happy, easygoing guy. So it's pretty much him. Yeah. I don't know if I think he smokes a lot of weed on that show. I don't know if he does in his own life, but still, it's a good program.
That show they smoke a lot of weed. They do a lot of drugs. So, but yeah, it's a fast life.
I got to start watching that new season.
It's good. It's good. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot, but it's, business and football.
I've heard from other people who said the same thing. It's like, yeah, I love that show, and I don't know why, because I don't care about any of that stuff. But I also like Miami, and I like Florida. I think if I ever left LA, I'd go somewhere in Florida because I just like palm trees and nice weather. So this is like the other version of California, and seeing. And I like the wrestling and WWE, and that's all in Florida. So I feel like, well, if I was to go somewhere else, it'd be a good place to be. It's down there in Florida.
Yeah, I think I want to go out to LA. Maybe when I'm older, I'll move out to LA or Florida or something like that. But yeah, I like it. Whenever I go out to visit and go to E3, it's pretty awesome.
Oh man, yeah, LA is great. I don't think I'll ever leave. But if I become rich and I get like some house somewhere else, I'll probably pick a spot in Florida, maybe.
Don't you have something coming up here in Florida soon? Aren't you?
Yeah, actually, I'll be at a video game convention called Free Play Florida. It's near Orlando. It's in November. The weekend of November 9th is when it is. I'll be there. Kieth Apicary will be there as well. And James Rolfe will be there. So it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, actually, speaking of that, another listener asked me to ask you if you were going to do anything with AVGN again.
Yeah, we were talking about shooting something when we're both down there, like after the convention. We had plans to shoot another video recently, and then James like kind of changed the idea, and he's like, I don't think I like the script anymore. He's like, let's do something in a little bit. So we were going to be shooting something recently. I think I was going to go out there and shoot more with him. But I'd like to shoot something. I have an idea for something I could get him into of mine while we're in Florida. So I'll try to just get as much done as we can when we're together.
Cool. So I look forward to that. I love the Christmas one you guys did a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. At first it seemed like a lot of his viewers were like not into it because it was so different than his normal episodes, and they were like kind of hating on it. But I've got so many more fans after that from him. It's been crazy. Like I still get every day I get comments like, I found you through AVGN. So I'm majorly thankful to James for putting me in there. It's funny because we've known each other for so long. We've done so much together at cons and just in different ways, like live events. Had never been in like an AVGN episode, so it was kind of fun to like finally do that.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, God, I would love to make it to that. Maybe I can make it to that one sometime. And
yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, I honestly think it's one of the best conventions I've ever been to. It's super fun, super relaxed, and they kind of let me just go crazy and run around the hotel and do whatever I want. So,
are there any cons you're not welcome back to anymore? Because you do some crazy stuff.
The only convention I was ever actually banned from was PAX East. Screw Attack was always cool with me doing crazy stuff. I mean, like, and I've also toned it down big time. I don't go as bananas as I used to with Kieth, because I used to just want to get like that crazy Kieth Apicary content, and now I just kind of want to just hang out because I'm like, I'm tired of pushing it so hard.
Yeah.
It's more fun just to kind of enjoy the convention and get like shoot some easier videos. So the only time I ever got banned was at PAX from being in my underwear at the convention. But at E3, I've been kicked out at times for the day where they're like, you gotta leave, you gotta stop climbing on stuff. But I've never been banned. And I got kicked out of E3 E3, Comic-Con for climbing on the outside of the building. But I never got banned. So I'm welcome back at most conventions except for PAX. But now I think I could actually go back to PAX because it's been so long.
Yeah,
and the guy who banned me isn't even with Penny Arcade anymore, so it probably doesn't even matter anymore. And he's also actually like, we're on friendly terms. The guy that banned me, it was never like negative. He's just like, I have to. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's fine, whatever. So I could probably go back to PAX sometime.
Cool.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all I got. Thank you very much. We went way longer than.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, everyone check out Nuetral, please. I spent every penny I had on it, so
yeah,
please watch Nuetral.
And throw Nathan some donations if you can.
Yeah,
the next movie.
That's how I pay my rent and make everything. So
yeah, and I love the Gravedigger ones you've been doing lately.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, every Wednesday I do those live streams. So.
Yeah, so definitely check out his channel, and thanks again, Nathan. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You're so easy to talk to. Thank you, man.
Likewise. All right, cool. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
So that was my interview with Nathan Barnatt. If you could, give him a follow on Twitter or look him up on his YouTube page. It's youtube.com/Nathan Barnatt. Watch his movie Nuetral. It's really cool. It has absolutely nothing to do with video games, but I think it's kind of a cool little short film. It's definitely his passion. And the guy truly loves video games. His Kieth Apicary videos are legendary for gamers. And if you could, give him a follow. When you give him a follow on Twitter, give him a little shout out. Let him know that you heard the podcast. I would really appreciate it. And I think it would be nice for people to give him some love on Twitter. So let me know what you guys think of this podcast. This was supposed to be a 15-minute, 20-minute interview, and he went over 40 minutes. So I would like to thank him once again. I wish him luck in everything he does in the future. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Thanks everybody for listening, and I'm out.
The guys on Racket Boy are gonna love this one.